Hey everybody, welcome back to the 18th episode of the Editor Cast, where today we will be joined by the one and only SARROW. Hello.
What's up?
Alright. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
Okay. So it's been a long time since I last did one of these because I was on a break, and ever since I came back, we've been trying to do this for I think 1.5 weeks now. But time zones and whatever. Okay. So basically, if you've ever watched one of these before, or if you've ever heard of this podcast ever before, the main question, the first question that everybody has to answer on here is how and when did you start editing? What brought you towards this?
Okay, I'll start off with how long I've been editing. I think I've been editing for maybe 3 years from what I know, because I think season 8, chapter 149 is when I actually began. Before that, I did content for my own YouTube when I was little. And so that kind of got me into editing, and I watched edits. It brought me in. It was actually through a scrims that got me into the whole comp. I think it was, I don't know, some Evade member. I don't remember his name, but yeah, I think that's how I got into comp. I learned about teams. I started going for teams, and then I knew that I can't make it as a player. So I just did editing, and yeah, that's how I began.
Okay, so you started in basically 2018 or early 19, I think. That's when season 8 was a thing.
I think so, yeah, early 19.
All right. Well, so you and I started basically around the same time because, well, I was editing since 2017, but like you said, I started with this just recording. I used to play Minecraft a lot, and I'd record that and edit that for my friends and stuff. Then around May 2019, you might know the community that I used to run, Astro. That was formed by Pronab and a couple others, but back then it was named Pakistan Editing Community, PEC. But when I found that community, that's when I really got into editing. That's when I really got serious about it. Okay. What would you think was your first good edit where you thought that this could be something serious, this could be something I could pursue?
I think In Your Eyes, I first edit officially on my channel.
In Your
Eyes,
because
everything, before that everything was scraps, and I don't know, it was just my first official edit. I haven't had anything like that, so yeah.
Okay, so basically, there's been a lot of In Your Eyes edits, but on different songs and multiple times. The first, because I don't remember this one exactly, but I've seen the In Your Eyes. I think I've seen yours, obviously. I've seen Ghost Green's In Your Eyes. I've seen Nicklo. I think Nicklo made an In Your Eyes edit.
Yeah, it is.
So was that the same song?
I think Nicholas was, but I don't know. I thought that people were gonna hate me on it, but I found it just through Spotify, not even Nicholas edit. I forgot about it because it was a creative edit. Back then, creative didn't hire me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
That's how I found it.
Right. All right. So this is one of the more intriguing questions for the editors, which is obviously, oftentimes there's things you're getting held back, and you can't always stay positive and upbeat, and sometimes you're just demotivated. So what do you do in such a time when you're demotivated and you don't want to work?
Hop on Val, play some Valorant. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so you basically just take a break and chill.
Yeah.
Because well, I had a lot of editors on here, including Enigma and Divinity, who said that whenever they're demotivated, they just go ahead and watch other people who they're inspired by.
Oh, yeah.
which is honestly I think what I do too. But
I used to do that a lot, yeah.
hmm.
Just watching edits. I have a whole playlist of edits to go through and just do that. Eat popcorn or something.
Yeah, eat popcorn while watching edits. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, well, yeah. I sort of have a playlist, but it's like a mental playlist. It's in my mind. You know, whenever I'm like
Yeah.
demotivated, you just search up on YouTube. You know, Finito Brothers. That's probably like
Yeah.
I've watched that edit like 200 times. Yeah.
about
So
it.
you started with Fortnite, obviously, but did you ever try COD or CS or anything? Were you ever interested in that
tried.
community?
Yeah, I think I've tried every game, and that really helped because, well, not like any, like, I don't know, I haven't tried Overwatch, but I've tried the general games for editing,
Uh-huh.
and I've done frag shows, a lot of stuff. I can't remember, but I've even tried Battlefield frags, which is very rare and hard. I don't know why I was so into them at this period of time, but that was one thing. And yeah, I guess I've done COD.
All right. So I think you're about my age. You're 16, right?
I'm about to be.
Okay, you're about to be 16. So
Yeah.
that means you're still in school.
Yeah, I'm almost out of school, and I think in a week I'm out. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have my final exams this year too. But
Alright.
okay. So with school, you know, oftentimes you have homework, you have exams, and other things. So you know, the past couple of years we've been at home because of quarantine, but before that, or even like during this, sometimes even online studies can get very hectic, especially because it's a lot tougher, and we're still getting used to this kind of stuff. Has there been any time where you kind of feel overwhelmed by all of the editing work, or you know, what your client work, what you're doing on this side, and then your school and balancing everything, and you know, having a life, going out and stuff like that?
Yeah. I think the main thing is that it's really hard to balance because when you have that week of just you need to get the edit done compared to like when you have like a lot of schoolwork too, that's the part where it just gets really stressful.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it comes to like the decision of like what's called getting through an edit fast. Rushing an edit to get schoolwork done, or just straight up do schoolwork, hold off the client, you know. And I think like I should have done the last one where I hold off the editing and just do more school, because I don't know, it kind of like I've had moments where I didn't do that. I just focused on editing and it messed me up a lot, but I think I'm good now.
Well, I think
sure,
I'm
yeah.
doing that right now because I have I have my exams in about 6 weeks, and they're like the final exams. That like these decide which college I go to and whatnot, and I'm still not paying attention to them. That's messed up. I need to do more of that, but it's like because of sitting at home and just, you know, not really being focused on studies that much. It's even when you try to open the book, it's like, what do I do with this thing? But yeah, my school started like, you know, IRL school, because our authorities allowed it for now. So I'm attending classes from tomorrow actually. So let's see how that goes. Yeah. All right. Moving on to more editor things, obviously. So is there, what would you say was your biggest and your best project thus far?
I feel like I'd say Flume, because I don't know, I've spent too much time onto the edit, but again, like I didn't spend I say that I've spent like a lot of time, but like I'd say that's 1 month of just editing extended into like, I don't know, 4 months, because I did other things in between. I think I had 2 edits worked on at the same time, and I got out 4. I think it was Starboy and one other edit. remember. But yeah.
Okay. And is there any big project you're working on at the moment that you'd like to like give a tease to or something?
I can't really announce that, but yes, there is.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
like, is it big in terms of like you're doing a really great job at it, or is it a big team, or a bit of both?
It's not a big team, but it's just when I'm doing. I'm not allowed to just announce it. Really, I don't know how to explain it.
I get it.
Yeah. I can't even say like the name of it.
Oh, well, good luck, man. I hope that turns out great because I'll be waiting. All right. So there's obviously a lot of times you must get those DMs where people ask, tips and I'm a new editor, what should I do and stuff like that. Because I'm way worse than any of the people I've called on this podcast, including you, and I have those DMs. I have my message requests filled. Well, if you open your message requests on Twitter, there's a lot of wild things in there, so I just don't anymore. But okay, so this is your one place. Just say a few tips that you'd give to anybody that came to your Twitter message requests.
So first off, I have like a whole paragraph ready for this, just because I've sent this multiple times, and maybe I think it's in a notepad or something. But I'll just try to sum it up. Let me try finding it. But I'll give you some stuff for now. I guess spend time on it, on like the edit. I really just try to take my time on it because it's the best like outcome. But one thing I didn't do is learn the basics before the effects. Yeah, that's everyone's mistake, or most people's. And a lot of my close friends have learned the basics before the effects, and I think their edits are much more enjoyable through that because the basics are perfect. It's just like having good cinematics, having good flow, having good pan crop, having a good CC. It just makes the edit, But having just effects, but none of the basics ruins the whole edit.
Yeah. Well, true. I've made that mistake. Mistake too.
Yeah. I think everyone has. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, because I don't know. Effects seem more fun to like learn, and yeah, I can see that. But having the best basics, but like a little bit, like no effects, just is perfect.
Definitely. All right. So you have so if you edited many different games, which one did you like find yourself to be most enjoying, sort of? Why did you like love editing the most?
Yeah, I've tried many games, but I guess I'd say oh, it's kind of weird. I don't mind editing things, like it's all enjoyable. It's kind of hard to explain. But
no, obviously it is, but like I'm passionate for editing myself, and like I love doing what I do. But I was doing Fortnite for so long. I started with Fortnite like you, and then we were doing it for like 2 to 3 years. And then when I tried editing Valorant, it was something completely new and fresh. And I sort of just that feeling when you started editing as a whole. You sort of, not entirely, but you sort of get that feeling again with a new game.
Yeah, definitely.
So that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'd say maybe then Val, or I don't know. I feel Val the most, definitely. Because I don't know. I think it's where I was creative.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Valorant is the more CS type of mechanical game, but then graphics are sort of like Fortnite, the cartoony thing, which just kind of blends the two together, and it makes for a familiar yet new editing experience. It's sort of weird. And when I actually the biggest problem was when I first edited Valorant was I tried to edit it like it was Fortnite. And Fortnite's third person and Valorant's first person, and that just came out to be a wreck. That was like that was like bad, like real bad. So don't do that.
Yep.
First person and third person games are edited differently, so we learned that from that.
Definitely.
Okay. So what do you plan on in the future, like after you finish school? Are you going to film school? What do you plan on doing? Are you pursuing this as a full-time career, or are you gonna do something else? Is this just a pastime?
Okay. I think I'm gonna move on, like get out of the comm at some point. Definitely get into film, and I want to be a compositor because I do a lot of compositing in my edits, especially in my new one that's not out yet. But it's just do you know what compositing is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just want to get into that. For movies, spend hours on a scene. I just enjoy doing that.
Well, yeah, that's actually is kind of fun because obviously you know what, obviously you recently had a kind of a battle with him, but I see he also loves compositing because you know, oftentimes we're obviously, you know, we're good friends and we're sitting in a VC and we're editing, and he's one of those people who just spends hours on a scene and just keeps trying new things and blending new stuff together. And I'm not that kind of guy, but I wanna be, because that just makes that just adds this extra layer to, especially to his intros. And that's what I've noticed with your edits and a couple others too, is that at least, you know, some special scenes you put so much time into and they look so beautiful. You know, for example, you could look at Enigma's Valorant thing that he made for Liquid. Like that cinematic in the between in the between, okay, what am I saying? In the middle where you where it's there's multiple different angles and he's shooting an explosive. That was like a really beautiful cinematic.
Definitely.
So, you know, stuff like that, it's really beautiful, and I want to be able to do that. Just, I think compositing requires a lot of patience and creativity.
Yeah,
because
it really does.
Yeah, because you, like, a lot of the times you're gonna do something and you're gonna spend like an hour or two on it, and then you're just gonna be like, delete this, it's not good. And I just find that annoying.
That happens. I mean, I've had to delete, like, so I think a couple days ago, actually, I was learning a whole new effect, and I messed with it for about 7 hours.
Wow.
And I had to delete it all because I found out there's a better effect, and it's easier.
What effect was that?
It was like a type of particle, like, I don't know, it was called Pixel Cloud, and
oh yeah, Pixel Cloud, I know.
Yeah, I try to mess with it and do something completely different. Could not get into that. Then I found out there's what's called trap code form that does it way better.
Yeah,
and
trap
so
code form. Another one of my friends who mostly does anime editing, but he's got into game editing because of, well, you know, this friend group of mine. He knows, like, he does anime editing, of course, and anime editors are really good compositors too most of the time. And he did this trap code foam thing, and he taught us the effect. It was actually that's one of like the most coolest effects I've seen. I like that effect really a lot, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So, are you using that in your upcoming edit?
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe one time, because I don't feel like the whole effect fits the edit of it. I don't know, it just doesn't. I feel like it just fits one time, and I didn't want to put it all to waste, so I just put it in there.
Okay.
Like all the time spent just trying to get it to work.
All right, so this was something that a lot of people wanted me to cover, and normally I don't cover sort of, well, it wasn't entirely a controversy, it was a sort of banter, but you recently placed second in Maxi's Editor Olympics, and a lot of people thought you deserved first, and the first place was obviously my very good friend Watts, and third was Flex, obviously, so I wanted to see what you thought about the whole fiasco. Like, do you disagree with it? Do you agree that you should have been first or something like that? What do you have to say about that?
So, um, I don't like talking about this stuff, but like, I guess,
Yeah, well, I don't like covering controversial or
I don't
anything
know.
stuff, but a lot of people just wanted me to ask like your position on this whole thing.
So, I guess, a lot of people decided to just, I don't know. I guess people started, yeah, what you said, saying I should be first and all. I don't have any say in that. I mean, the judges thought about it. I kind of agree with how they said it. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I can't really cover it. I don't think about it that much, and it's not
All right. So
the biggest part.
yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a it's a hard place to put and put yourself in because, but yeah, there was a whole problem there, and people wanted me to address it, sort of. But I like obviously I respect you as an editor, and I respect Watts, I respect Flex, everybody, and Watts especially is a really close friend of mine. So it's just I was happy for him. I was obviously happy for everybody that placed. And I wasn't following this entirely because as I said, I was on a break at the time, and just Watts just showed me the edit. Actually, 2 days I think before the results, Watts sent me his edit. And he was like, "This is this," and then he had the. I think you guys had like private access to all the links. To all of the edits, and he sent me yours, and he was like, "Bro, this guy's gonna win. This is better." And and actually, I said that I think you still have a chance because just so obviously your edit was great, but I just felt how he throughout how he represented the country throughout. That was good, but obviously like a lot of people made the argument that that was not the point of the competition, to represent your country. It was just you were doing it like in the Olympics. You don't just get something because you represented your country well, which is a fair argument. I respect that. So but yeah, that was like, he actually Watts himself thought that you were gonna win, but then he did. So but you know, everybody respects I think everybody here. And you know, so your edits and Flex edits, we like a lot of the time as friends just sit on a VC and watch them and learn things from them there. So that's like, you know, no harsh feelings on any side, I hope. That's just something I was asked to address. So okay.
Here I have something to add on to. I feel like I just forgot. Oh my god. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Well, I guess the whole part of representing your country and not like, I don't think the judges address that enough, you know, to knowing like either if making the edit good for your country or representing your country well, you know, like no one addressed that well enough, and that's the part I think was kind of fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
But I thought it was just another EC. We're just gonna get it done. Yeah, but like at least the montage editor won. You know, that's the biggest thing. We did not like celebrate about a montage editor won, so that's great.
Yep. I was actually surprised to see that, you know, a lot of those edits weren't even montages, but okay. Well, that was a win, technically. All right. So we talked about demotivation and having, you know, no motivation to work, but oftentimes there's the thing that you want to work, but you can't. That's what normally people call a creative block, where you don't have any ideas, and despite wanting to work, you cannot, you know, come up with ideas, execute stuff well. Have you ever had to face one of those?
Too many times.
Okay.
Just like spending hours on a scene, right? And then you can't execute it because it doesn't fit, you know, like you play back the whole edit, you realize the pacing's off of what you just did. That kind of happened in my new edit too, and it's pissing me off kind of that I spent too long on just trying to get this to work, and it's like a bit too fast to the whole edit. It just zooms into a cinematic that it goes back out in seconds. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think another example of someone who spends a lot of time on a single scene is, I'd say, Sparky, who's also been here on an episode. But I don't know if he does this regularly, but he was once streaming while he was making the Sword Tojo 500k Taj, and I think I sat on his stream for 2 hours, and the whole time he was just trying to do one effect on like 1/4 of a cinematic, where in the intro the camera comes out of this house and there's the text, and the whole time he was just doing that. And I was shocked that, by the amount of time he was just putting into that one scene. But then you see the final product and it's beautiful, and that's kind of just the point. And ever since, whenever I watch one of Sparky's edits or something that has big a lot of compositing in it, I just have a new appreciation for that, because I saw something being made like that live, and it just shows that people put a lot of time into that. And there's a lot of things that you don't even see that were scrapped or removed from the edit, or sometimes they're still in the edit, but you can't go fast enough to just find all the references and whatnot that editors often hide in their videos.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the edit. I mean, most of Sparky's and I's and a lot of people who just do compositing, there's so many little things that I wish people could notice, because if you go frame by frame you would notice, but that's how the scene is made, I guess. It's not going frame by frame.
Because I saw, so you I'm assuming you were following the Sparkles editing competition 6 months ago?
No, I was not.
You were not? Okay. But, Sparkles, you know about Sparkles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he hosted an editing competition with the prize pool of $15,000. And people like Enigma and Fuse were judging it, and it was mostly just 3D. The edits, Nikki HD edits, where they convert the frags into 3D and that whole thing. And there were the top 2 edits. One was by Maro, who's very famous for his 3D edits already. And the edit was by this guy. The first place was this guy called Dyson, and I had never heard of him before.
Loved it.
Yeah, and Blinding Lights. I still watch that edit to this day, and I'm still finding new references. And there's so much movie stuff in that. He took inspiration from John Wick, from Inception, from so many other things. And to this day, I'm finding new references and new hidden Easter eggs to that in that edit. Same goes with Maro's edit, how he made the whole Max Payne style thing. But that kind of stuff is just crazy, and I want to be able to do that one day. Just the full 3D edit and just a story and everything like that. That was crazy. So do you think you're gonna be focusing more on Valorant in the future, quit Fortnite, move towards Valorant completely?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm doing that too. I don't know, it just Fortnite's gotten boring. So do you think Valorant's whole production or editing scene will head towards where CSGO's or COD's is right now, where you can literally export all the frags to 3D, or that level of customization with dolly cams and stuff like that we didn't get to see in Fortnite 4 years after its release? Do you think we can see that Valorant scene going there, or is it going to be limited like Fortnite?
I think it's going to have dolly. I mean, I've been following, I've been going on, Reddit, trying to search for an answer. And I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, there should be dolly through what the dev said. So, I mean, they're adding a whole replay mode, and they said they want to have people get creative. They want frags. They want They want everything. Okay, they want it to be perfect. So
Well,
I
thing is,
think they're gonna spend the time on that.
yeah, they were like the riot. What am I saying? Riot was very cooperative and like willing to give editors the resources they need, because back in November when Enigma was on, I asked him the same question and he said that Riot was he talked to the directors of Riot or something, and they said that they would be providing this, I think, like a assets list or something like that for editors, which would include like dolly cams and stuff like that. I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but it was something along the lines of resources to help editors, and that still has not come out. So
Yeah.
obviously maybe they're just working on making it better and stable. But I was kind of getting worried about that because it's been about 8 months since that. It was back when Enigma released the Liquid Valorant edit, and that got like really famous, and you got to talk to the right people. So
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, yeah, the devs have already announced that. I'm pretty sure they're gonna add it in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have you ever wanted to do a project like Liquid Valorant or FaZe Valorant, that kind of stuff?
I mean, I've thought about it, but like, it seems kind of boring to edit because they can't have too much into it besides the 3D. Like, you can't clip edit like anything else. You just have to add minimax or DOF. Just kind of basic effects. It's not that enjoyable to me. I mean, the FaZe Valorant one at the ending, that had like a lot of effects and I really liked it, but I mean, it's more of like presenting the clips than having fun with that.
Yeah, and even like now when Starker and Tafa, which are the main editors for FaZe, they don't like put that much effects in the montages, and I still see like tweets by famous people that are just criticizing that there's too much editing, and I don't. It's kind of annoying to see sometimes, but well, that's opinions, obviously. And okay. One another really important question, and something that a lot of people have arguments over is what matters most in an edit. Is it flow or execution, or creativity over execution? That's a big argument. So what do you have to say about that?
Oh, so creativity over execution is execution. If you can't do it, don't do it. That's the basic thing. And it has to fit the edit. Everyone knows that. It needs to fit the edit. No random effects. People still have random effects on the edit. And what's called flow, creativity. I'd rather have good flow than creativity.
Okay. Yeah, obviously going back to the learn the basics thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you just said that may add effects that match the edit. What would you say like is an unmatched effect? Like when would you say that this effect does not match this edit?
So people think glows, colorful glows match song. It needs to all fit, because you're just not gonna get the like correct atmosphere for it, and you need to have. You gotta have like a inspiration first, okay? Always. And you gotta see how they did it. What effects matched? What did they not use, like from what you usually use, right? Then you would learn off that and kind of like see what you're gonna eliminate from this new edit. Like, let's say you're trying a new style. Some stuff don't fit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you gotta make a whole CC. I mean, if you're going for a darker style of an edit, like, you don't gotta put colors in it. You can make the whole thing black and white, and it would be better than having colorful edit.
Okay, true. Well, okay, sorry for interrupting you.
No.
But you stream a lot yourself, right? Like oftentimes while editing. But I think the last stream I watched of you was you playing Cyberpunk.
Oh, uh,
Well, okay,
yeah,
so
that was
when so is there a regular sort of what do you call it, like routine for you to stream? Is there that, or just whenever you feel like it?
I just feel like it. I mean, I randomly just turn it on sometimes. A couple nights ago, I turned it on at like 3 a.m. playing a horror game. Scariest thing I've ever done, and I don't know. I just got like 7 people watching. I don't mind that. Like, I just wanted just to share it. I thought it was kind of funny. It was really funny, what most people said, and like it was just a fun stream. Just a couple people watching, having fun, playing with some viewers.
Hmm.
And but sometimes I do just stream like editing, and my editing streams tend to be kind of boring, but it's just I just edit and
Yeah.
talk to some people.
Yeah, but I
But
think
it's fun.
mostly, like, when you edit and stream, because I've started doing that too, people, like, come and, like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna learn editing, but I don't think you can do that from how, watching someone else edit. Obviously, there's certain thing you're gonna learn, but you can't, like, improve as an editor just by watching someone else. You can learn
Yeah,
small bits and details, like, but how this effect does this, and stuff like that, but you can't improve as an editor overall. And I think, like, when someone is doing an editing stream, it's mostly they're just there to interact with someone, with their chat and stuff like that. It's not more like, okay, let me show you how to edit. That's not what an editing stream is, at least for me.
definitely. Um, I guess like you wouldn't really learn off it, but I guess you could learn the strategies, like you said. And let's go. Forget. Oh, what I was gonna say again. Um, what was it?
Well,
I forget. Yeah, we can just move on.
okay. um but yeah, like, I was gonna give an example of of Enigma streams, but about how, obviously, like, by watching them I didn't become Enigma, or, like, anybody near, like, anything near that, but, like, I got to learn a few things about, like, how he upscaled his clips for the Liquid Valorant edit, and, like, about this new program that does it really well, and other small tips that he just says while he's doing those watching and op streams, or even editing himself. I got started on C4D by just watching him, and I thought, like, I watched him and I learned the GUI by just watching him and, like, seeing what he did, and so that kind of thing, small improvements and stuff like that, you can do, but you can't go into an editing stream expecting to learn, like, and become a better editor. That's not the purpose of a stream. All right. Next question that I had without you. Oh yeah. Without you. That I had for you. What is wrong with me? Okay. The next question that I have is: do you plan on ever doing 3D? Because almost everybody is doing that today.
I have. Just it's not noticeable.
Oh.
I try to make it look like the game because some 3D doesn't fit, and like some textures, like I'd rather have it look like the game, but beautiful camera movement, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want it to all fit. If it's like way too nice for what the game looks like, it just doesn't, fit the whole edit, because the rest of the edit has normal sins, right? So yeah, and I try to put it in more of an environment that also like fits the edit. Nothing too crazy.
Wait, so what's an example of 3D that you've done? I don't remember seeing any 3D from you.
It's in Flume. It's hard to.
It is?
I mean, I don't know if you're gonna notice it, but yeah, it's in Flume. It's on the scope shot. That was a 3D.
Okay.
It had like bullets. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Okay.
yeah, I guess. I've done it in some areas. I just can't like always. I can't think of it, but I've done it maybe one time in every edit.
Okay. Well, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But, like, do you plan on doing, like, ever, like, fully 3D, like, the intros that people do?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I've like I've learned it. I just haven't put it in like in an edit, I guess.
All right.
I'm just waiting till the edit that fits. I'll just do it.
Okay, so which client has been your biggest, like, thus far? Which was your biggest client? Like, individual or team?
I don't think I've had anyone big yet.
Did you work for a bay?
Yeah, I'm saying like individual client.
Well, no,
I'm thinking about
any works, even teams. Works.
I guess Obey might be my biggest, like, team wise. Yeah.
Are you still in
Not
Obey?
sure if yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think I've seen any recent from Obey that's been done by you.
Yeah, there's been recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. So there's a few. Well, actually, there's like really only a couple audience questions that were actually serious. Mostly are just memeing, but we also asked the meme questions just to have some fun, obviously. Okay, but one last question that I wanted to ask before we move on to the viewer questions is why so what do you think, since you've worked with Obey and the managers on there, what do you think those people look for in an editor, just big organizations in general? What do you think they look for, and what makes them pick you over others?
Connections. Mainly just connections. Wait a minute. Yeah. For bigger teams, right?
Yeah.
Or like orgs. Yeah, just connections, esport connections. You need to have portfolio of every game, I guess. That's the main thing. I'm currently just I'm trying to make a portfolio for later on. So yeah.
Well, so that okay. Yeah, actually that's true for the most part. And obviously connections that help you build a social media thing, because a lot of the times there's just these people and influencers that are just doing this looking for editor tweet, and they're never gonna see you unless you have like 400 likes, which you can't get unless you have like a decent following on Twitter. So that is very, very upfront, and true. All right. So we are going to go towards the viewer questions now, and this is mostly gonna be memes, a couple serious questions. But the first question comes from Shade. He asks, when is SARROW and Shade's marriage ceremony? Are you guys getting married?
I'm already taken, so no.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, Shade.
Shade, yeah. Okay. Well, Shade was recently flexing, he's also taken, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you both go your own ways. What? Okay. All right. Next up, we have Fanatic Fear. He asks, who is SARROW? Who are you?
Oh, I'm just a kid.
You are a kid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next question is, ironically, how old is SARROW?
I'm a kid.
You're a kid. How many years old are you, kid?
How old are you?
I'm 16.
-1.
All right, great. Well, I'm turning 17 in like 6 months, and you said you're turning 16 in a few days.
-1.5. There.
Wait, what? Not
-1.5 then. If you're turning them, okay, never mind.
That's not right. Wait, when do you turn 16?
Oh, shit. I don't know. September.
All right. Well, then that's about. Actually, that's like 10 months. No. Is it? Okay. Let's leave it there. 1.1 months or something like 1.1 year, I think. Well, yeah. All right. Next up is Lufus asks, why the name SARROW?
Okay. So I was thinking of names, and I kind of came up with SARROW. I was gonna rebrand.
Oh.
Because my old name was Elevate, and then I rebranded to SARROW. So yeah.
So how long ago were you Elevate?
2 years ago. I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so like, how did you come up with SARROW? How, like, you were thinking of names, but what made you think of SARROW? Like Sparrow or what?
No, I literally just don't know. Like, I just kind of thought of, I just thought of cool names, and then I kind of got it.
Is it like you know, as like a synonym? Not a synonym, or is it similar to your real name, or like how? Just Sarah doesn't pop up in your head.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just does. I was thinking of a bunch of names, and so just it was good.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought of it.
Well, it does sound good. Like, I think the first time I heard about your name, it was that the the impression was of somebody who is really like, influential, sort of, or one of those people you're what the heck is wrong with me? Intimidated to talk to.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Well, okay.
Not what I'm going for.
Next question comes from Juicy, and he says, how did SARROW create his own editing style, and where does he get his inspiration from? So let's do that. The first question first. How did SARROW create his own editing style?
Axiom, a bunch of people. Just mainly, I guess, Axiom kind of got the whole EDM thing going, so I tried to just do that, and then I somehow ended up like establishing my style through like the weekend, and I guess I kind of just found some effects that fit the edit, and that kind of grew my style into what it is now.
Okay. What would you say?
And I'm just currently branching. Sorry.
Oh no.
I'm just branching out with styles.
Okay, so yeah, obviously learning new effects, obviously. What would you say is the most used effect? What the heck am I saying? Most used effect in your videos normally. Something's wrong with me.
Element 3D.
Element 3D. Well, yeah. I thought it would be something like BCC lens blur, because do you not use that?
I don't use it.
You
not
don't?
much. Maybe for DOF, but nothing crazy, I guess. I only use that just to have depth of field, so yeah.
Okay. Next, okay, so the second question by the same person, where does he get his inspiration from?
Oh yeah, many people, but the base inspiration, I guess, Axiom. So I already said that, but yeah, Axiom.
All right, Axiom actually wanted him on the podcast because there's so many people that just have him as their inspiration. Whenever I asked him, there's been so many people that said Axiom, and I wanted to get him here and talk about that, but he was not free, I think, or not willing to, or something like that. So that didn't work out. Next question comes from Ado G. He says, how are you so hot? How do you do that?
It comes from many years of genes, as we say.
Okay.
I just have good genes. Alpha genes.
Alpha genes, of course. Yeah. Okay. Hayden asks, where does he get his songs from?
I have a Spotify playlist of what I listen to, and I just find songs and add it to there, and then I just listen to them until I'm sick of it, but then I still edit to it. And yeah. Or I go on YouTube, and I mean, like, I don't know how I find them, really. I'll just kind of find it through an artist. Then I go through the artist, and then I find just songs. I find songs.
Okay. Well, who would you say is your favorite artist? The Weeknd?
No, not anymore. It was, but like I'm sick of it now. Um, I don't think I have a favorite. Oh, maybe ASAP Rocky,
Okay.
but he's not my style.
Well, I don't like like rap too much. Like, listening
Hmm.
to it or editing to it, I just don't. But yeah, I don't like listen to all those lils, you know.
Yeah,
um,
no.
but yeah, okay. And that is a sexual question. I cannot ask that. All right. Okay. Skipping off over one. There's one question comes from Acti. He says, "How and where from do you get your creativity?" So, is there anything special that you watch for ideas?
Um, I watch a lot of edits, and I guess I used to have ideas that I never pulled off
Hmm.
because it wouldn't fit the edit, and then until like I guess now I could kind of pull off the ideas, and so I'm just taking advantage of it. But I'm using like this. What I say is try to just like when you listen to a song and you just automatically like play out and edit.
Yeah. It just like the song plays and then edit just starts in your
Yeah.
head. That yeah.
Yeah, I follow through that, and if I have that creative idea, it's through that usually, and then
Alright.
I branch out when I have, like when I begin the idea.
Oh, so like so you have this picture from your head and then you just expand that.
Hmm.
All right, great. That's actually pretty nice. I want to do that now. All right. Next up, the final question comes from Rafe, and he asks how to get good execution.
Um, time, lots of time. You
Hmm.
just gotta wait until it's that moment where you have good execution, and I still don't have that.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it
there's
just takes
a
time.
yeah. I mean,
Gotta
it's
master it.
it's kind of like just you're stitching a lot of things together, especially when you're doing 3D and
Yeah.
executing something along the lines of 3D in a 2D clip or something like that. It's mostly just how well you stitch things together, how well or how smooth they play with each other, and that
Mm-hmm.
obviously the more time you spend on it, the better it does at that. Um, although sometimes it gets annoying because things are really not in your hand when you have a cinematic that's not good for tracking, and then you have to most likely just take another
Yeah.
cinematic instead of just trying to manually track it. I don't know. I find that annoying, but a lot of people just manually track it. Have you like what would you do like
Manually.
if you had like a bad
I
track?
did that. I did that a lot, and didn't get anywhere. It looked dog shit. Looks like
Yeah,
it
because
looked so
like
bad.
especially when you're tracking something in the air, right? You can't just keep it
Track.
stable there because
Hmm.
it's crazy. Maybe if something is on a wall, maybe you can track it there, but when something's in
Yeah.
the air, like when you do the 3D text in the middle of a forest in the air, that just I don't know how you can hand track that. All right.
Mm.
So that was everything for the viewer questions. All right. So the one final question before we end off the episode, episode
Yeah.
18, uh, is what were the difficulties that you might have faced when you started out as an editor? Because most editors I know either had like bad PCs or no time, bad grades, problems like that. Is there anything like that you faced which made you think that this might not be what I want to go through with, or made you want to quit?
Grades were an issue a long time ago, and that is where I learned my lesson. I'm thankful that I learned to get school,
Mm.
like have good grades in school, because it is so free when you like you have good grades. I mean, you could just oh no, you can
So
just you can edit freely. Better
yeah,
mindset.
well, true. But like, do you have any like? Are your parents supportive of the editing thing?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think Yeah, they are. I mean, I haven't had a problem with that.
All right. Well, you are extremely talented, of course. So, I just wish you good luck in your future projects. I'm really excited to see this one project that you mentioned that you cannot announce yet. I will be waiting for that. But yeah, congratulations on everything you've achieved so far. That will be
Thank you
it
so much.
for this episode, of course. Anytime, bro. All right, that will be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for coming to the podcast, SARROW, taking the time out. Obviously, you must be a busy person.
Nah, I'm not.
Well, you still have to edit. I still appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you everybody for watching. And I'll see you all next episode, where we actually might have another one of the Maxi Editor Olympics, placement holders, whatever. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.